You're not going to believe what I turned this poster board into. I also grabbed some foam board I had in the shed and I cut the foam board with a utility knife to be the same size as the poster board. I scored the poster board so that it could wrap around the foam board, and then I secured everything together with construction adhesive. You could easily use hot glue for this part, but I had construction adhesive handy, so I just used that. I glued the extra piece of poster board to the back. Once that was dry, I drew the word potion at the top and the spider web at the bottom, and I traced it all with hot glue. I used copper and gold glue sticks for the writing and filled in some of it, leaving it partially filled and a bit messy intentionally. It doesn't really matter the color of the glue stick, but I just thought that if it was showing a little bit at the end, the copper and gold would look really cool. Then I mixed up some Mod Podge and water and I spread it on top of the hot glue with a paintbrush, and then I added pieces of crumpled up tissue paper on top of the glue mixture and then spread even more of the glue mixture over top. I did this to cover the spider web, the letters at the top, and over most of the rest of the poster board. I love the crinkled look that it gives. I used my fingernails to make lines along the exposed edges. This didn't sound very good, but it worked really well. I did this to resemble pages. When everything was dry, I spray painted the letters and the web with gold spray paint. Once that was dry, I used hot glue to attach creepy creatures all throughout. I spray painted the creatures either green or purple, and I let that dry. The purple definitely covered better than the green though. I spray painted the whole thing black, being careful to leave the gold, purple, and green exposed as much as possible. Then I pressed the parchment paper over top to create a textured look, and I love the detail that it adds. I let it all dry and added a couple more spiders with hot glue. What do you think? Are you going to give this one a try? I hope this inspires you to get creative with poster board and foam boards.
Start with an old pair of pants and a pool noodle. You're going to slide each end of the pool noodle into the legs of the pants. Then I need to roll them up a little bit so they fit. Now I'm going to put a pair of shoes onto the end of this pool noodle. I'm going to tie them nice and snug so they stay fit. And then I'm just going to stand this little guy up. These do stand up pretty well. The noodle holds up well in the shoes. Then on top, I'm going to grab my ghost decoration from Dollar Tree. The inside of it is styrofoam. So I could take a wooden skewer and push it into the styrofoam, and then take the other end of the skewer and push it through the pool noodle. Then I just arrange the fabric, arrange the little arms, and I have a cute little ghost for Halloween. I made a pair of these, and they are going to sit in my entryway to welcome guests all season.
Grab a sheet of plywood and turn it into something spooky this season. I used 1/2-inch plywood and drew a funky shaped haunted house with a pencil. Then I used a jigsaw to cut out the shape. When the design was cut, I used 80 grit sandpaper to sand the edges enough to remove the rough parts. I took it inside and applied a primer to the top and edges. This step is really important, so don't skip it. The primer will seal the knots and prevent the paint from bleeding. Once the primer was dry, I painted the top and edges with black paint. I used a porch and patio paint because that's what I had on hand, but any exterior paint would work. I let it dry completely and applied a second coat. Once that was dry, I flipped it over and stapled orange lights to the back. I made sure not to have the lights too close to the edges. I placed the board against a wall on our house, turned the lights on, and now I have the spookiest haunted house silhouette for the season.
It's that spooky time of year again, and we're going to start with some hobby foam. This is a 2-foot by 2-foot piece, and we want to split it into 4 equal parts. Then we're going to draw a line just kind of rough to get a good idea of where we want to cut it. Now, I kind of made a mistake here. I used a dull knife to go ahead and start the first cut. As you can see, it kind of bunched up underneath, kind of made it a little rough on the sides. Learn from my mistakes, use a sharp blade every time. So look at this, I changed my blade out. It looks nice. Now, the way to cut this foam is to run your blade down one side, turn it over, and we're going to go ahead and snap it, and then use the blade to cut the back side. It's very easy to do. What I needed is 4 pieces on this one particular foam board, and I'll need another 4 pieces on the other. This is easy to do. Again, just snap it, and we're just going to cut the back. It's great, and we're going to stack these 4 pieces up. Once we get it cut though, it's time to put them together. And the best way to do that was with some glue. So I used some good old construction adhesive and spread it out. There's a couple of ways of doing this. One way is to spread it out and then take just a little piece of cardboard and go ahead and smear it all over the back. It gives a lot more area for the adhesion. Once you do got it spread, just stick that next piece on there and lightly tap it so it goes into place. And it's already sticking. Another way you can do it is just go ahead and just spread it all over. You don't need a lot. I kind of went a little overboard, but I don't want it coming loose. So I'm going to go ahead and just stack all these pieces here one at a time and make sure they're together. This is my last piece I'm going to put on here. So definitely what I want to do is X marks the spot. I'm going to reach over and just put that last piece on. Don't worry about those rough edges. And we're going to put some weight on there just to hold it together. Let that dry a couple hours. Now I'm going to grab some PVC pipe. You can use pretty much any size. This one is 1¼ inches in width, but I want to mark these down to 12 inches each. Now you can use a saw or a hacksaw to do this. I work in the plumbing trades, so I have a cutter and it makes it nice clean edges once I cut it. The way we're going to do this is a 12-inch piece and a 1.5-inch piece. Then we're going to take a PVC 90 degrees and we're going to put that on there. Now, some people might glue it, but it holds tight. Just push it and get together. That way you can take it apart later if you need to. Once I got all these foam pieces built up, I took a little piece of plywood, put it on the back. Then I drilled some holes in the ends of these legs because what I want to do is use some screws to secure it down. The way I'm doing it though, by putting one on the end, I can adjust the piece as I need. So these are going to be the legs. We can go ahead and just put these on here. I'm going to need quite a bit because our spider has 8 legs. So once we get that on there, and here's the head, a little extra foam I had, use some popsicle sticks and stick that right on there. Now I'm going to put those 90 degrees back on and put it together. Take it outside and it's time to paint it. I'm going to start with the bottom first. Doesn't need too much. Again, this is the bottom, but some black spray paint will do the job. So once I got it all painted up, it's time to turn it over and spray paint the top. Now, again, these edges are a little rough, but that's what I like because I'm kind of going for that Minecraft look, especially for the kids that are going to come up to the front of the house and go trick-or-treating. I'm going to get this painted, maybe a couple of coats, make it look good. Once it's got all spray painted, I'm going to set it in place right by the front door. Now these legs, since they're all the same size, go in place, and I'm going to put a little couple googly eyes right on front. Make it scary, but with a happy, warm feeling. Once I got it set up, it's actually great for the outdoors. It'll take the weather just fine. As it sits out there, it will greet each and every one of my trick-or-treaters that come up front. Hope you enjoyed this PVC foam spider project. Thank you for watching Home Talk, and we'll catch you next time.